Hi, my name is Shauna Mountain from Reimagine Your Normal. Today we're going to continue our talk about nutrition. Today we're talking about protein. So protein is good for us because it requires our body to expend more energy in order to process it, which is why people say that you should eat protein whenever you're feeling hungry, because if you're really hungry but you don't want to eat a lot, or you don't want to get susceptible to fun foods or snack foods that are around, protein is a good one because it requires all that extra energy and it helps us feel full. The other thing that it does, especially if you're trying to lose weight, is it helps maintain your muscles. If you are anything like me and when you get hungry you get to that point where you hit that hangry point, yeah, that's me. To help regulate that and to help stop that from happening, I do a lot of intuitive eating, but I also eat a lot of protein. The protein helps stabilize mood. It actually helps with your neurological functions. Proteins have important amino acids in them. And I could not think back to my biology and remember what the heck amino acids are. So I went and looked them up. And basically they are like the things in our cells and our muscles and our tissues that help with the nutrients and bring the nutrients to the different organs. And they also help with repairing tissue and stuff, which is why a lot of people will eat protein after their workouts, because it helps repair some of the damage. It also helps with metabolism. So the article that I'm reading says that it helps with the removal of all kinds of waste deposits produced in connection with the metabolism, which means that it helps with your metabolism. So what happens when our bodies are lacking amino acids, which come from the proteins and stuff? We can have a list of things that could go wrong. We'll have a sluggish metabolism. We'll have trouble losing weight. We'll have trouble building muscle mass, which in women we don't really build a whole lot of muscle. That comes from increased testosterone, which we generally don't have, but we still want to build muscle because that helps boost our metabolism. We can have low energy levels and fatigue. We can have poor concentration and trouble learning. We can have moodiness and mood swings, like I said before. When I have the proper amount of protein in my daily diet, when I get hungry, I don't get hangry. I just get a little hungry and I get some food. You can have muscle, bone, and joint pain from protein deficiencies. We can have blood sugar changes that can lead to diabetes. Protein actually really helps with keeping your blood sugar stable. We can have slow wound healing. We can have a low immunity. Those are all things that are so important to have protein in your body. So if you are following a low calorie diet, just make sure you're getting in enough protein so that you don't end up with those deficiencies and health risks that come from low protein. And if you are on a vegan diet, then I would hope that you would have done your research to figure out how to get in the proper proteins without using a meat source. All right, so we talked about the amino acids. There are actually 20 different amino acids that all do different things, and they all come from different protein sources. So it's important to not always stick to one kind. So don't always have chicken or don't always have beef. Like, change it up. According to the USDA, the amount of protein we should have in grams depends on if you're a man or a woman. For a man, it's about 56 grams of protein per day. And for a woman, it's 46 grams of protein per day. But really, it depends on how much you weigh. So there's a formula. You'll take your body weight times 0.5, which means that if you're like me and you're 180 pounds, then you should be eating 90 grams of protein in a day. That's an insane amount of protein. So another option is to make 30% of your plate each time you eat a meal a protein source, whatever it is. They also recommend that you eat small amounts of protein throughout the day instead of 1 or 2 big amounts of protein at like 2 different meals. So great snacks would be like hard-boiled eggs or nuts or like apples with peanut butter because that's got protein in it, stuff like that. All right, so we have some top protein foods. There's a website that I went to, draxe.com. He's actually got a lot of beneficial and He's actually got a lot of beneficial nutrition information. But the top 11 that he had on his website were grass-fed beef, whey protein, lentils, wild fish, organic chicken, black beans, natto, it looks like some sort of bean, raw milk, yogurt, eggs, and raw cheese. Did you know that eating protein makes you feel fuller than eating carbs or fat? Awesome. And it gives you those crazy, awesome, helpful amino acids. Protein also helps as a natural remedy for anxiety. Protein helps the neurotransmitters function and synthesize the proteins like dopamine and serotonin that help calm us, which is why it helps with anxiety, and it helps us give a positive outlook on life. And helping with those hormones and neurotransmitters actually helps your cognitive ability. It helps you think more clearly. The article I was reading also cited some studies that they've done to show that the protein, or that shows the amino acids in the protein actually helps with motor skills. This is also really exciting. Protein helps the body synthesize glutathione. Oh my gosh. Okay. Glutathione. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But it's also called the master antioxidant, which helps detox and reduce carcinogens that are in our body. An interesting thing about protein too is there have been studies to show that it helps with sleep. And they believe it's the chemical transmitters that help in the brain that help that to give us energy during the day and make us more restful at night. It's that whole like circadian rhythm thing going on. Okay, so we're talking about this balanced diet thing. Now, I do not mean to eat all the protein. You absolutely have to balance it out with vegetables. So one of the articles I read said that eating a large amount of vegetables high in antioxidants will counterbalance that acid and high oxidative stress that happens. I guess it's in the amino acid process would be my guess of the protein. So to counterbalance it, that's why it's one of the many reasons I'm finding that it is important to have a balanced diet. You should never eat like all of one thing, like just carbs or just protein or just vegetables. Like have a nice balance of all that so that they counterbalance each other, because there's always positive and negatives that come with stuff. Vegetables and protein, I think so far have had the highest benefits, but it's neat to see that they actually like work in conjunction with each other. So that is what I have found out about protein. There is so much information about protein, like the best way to cook it, the best kinds of meats to get, the best kind of like lentils and beans and that kind of stuff to get. But this was just a basic information overall. I wanted to find out like why should I eat protein in the first place. So I found some really good things, more than I expected. So on the next video, we're going to talk about carbs, the dreaded carbs. So I'm excited for that, because this day and age, carbs have just been getting a bad name, and I know they're not bad, so let's find out why exactly they're good. So if you like these videos, please like and comment, please subscribe, and until next time, thank you.